Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hello. What is today? Wednesday, I think. Or Thursday. No, today is Thursday. Yeah, I get confused on the days sometimes. I have to check with my little Amazon Echo thing over here, or I've got them everywhere through the house, but I always look at those, and then I have a date reminder in my kitchen my daughter bought for me. It's like a farm stand one. Very adorable. My daughter and son-in-law and grandchildren. But today was the second day I tested my blood sugar level. And I tested it at 8:45 in the morning. Before I sipped coffee, before I ate breakfast, before I did anything. It was 194, which is really high. I think I need to pay attention to how late I eat. Maybe I need to go to bed earlier. Like last night, though, I went to bed, gosh, I think I crawled in bed at like 8:30, which is very, very, very early for me. But I have my reason. We had thunderstorms, which I absolutely love. But then came the lightning. And I mean, it was like crazy lightning. And now that, not so much. I hate lightning. I'm scared to death of lightning. It came into an apartment of mine many, many, many years ago, before I even had my two youngest, the twins. It was terrifying. But, and I believe it flashed in here last night too, and that scared the life out of me. I was sitting in my recliner watching TV. And my cat, Nemo was like, so antsy and jumpy and full of anxiety and scared. Luna, on the other hand, was asleep. I mean, like, it doesn't faze her. Nothing really phases her. So, I said, that's it. Come on, Nemo. We're going to bed. But I didn't go right to sleep. I laid in bed and watched some TV. But, you know, I had the big fan on and the central air on. I was all covered up and, you know, cuddled under my comforter. And, you know, my cats kept taking turns laying on me. And so I felt better about the lightning. And I felt like I wasn't so accessible to the lightning when I was laying in my bed. Anyway, so today I'm going to use the Real Her Ultimate Glow Getter Cheek Trio. That pretty much takes care of my blush, my highlighter, and my contour in one. I don't think I've ever used this. Ever. I don't know if one of my grandkids did. I can't tell if it's been used or not. And then I've got the CIATE London eyeshadow palette. The Editor, New England. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful palette. Lots of pretty shades. I'm trying to get, you know, the shades in there for you without blinding you with the... But yeah, pretty shades. This I have used, as you can see. Not that much, though. Maybe a couple times. And maybe one of the girls did, too. But when they come, they spend more time at my vanity than they do in my living room. Okie dokie, let's see. What are we doing? But yeah, I don't like lightning. Thunderstorms, holy crap. It appears lighter in the pan, by the way. I did not intend on it being that dark. Yeah, sometimes at night, if I can't sleep, I'll have the Amazon Echo turn on thunderstorms for me. And with all the lights out, the TV off, and them thunderstorms, man, I sleep like a baby. Absolutely. I wake easy anytime. But even my dreams will wake me up. I have night terrors sometimes. And my grandkids, even one of my daughters, well, two of my daughters actually, I always told them, do not wake me up. I may hurt you. Do not wake me up. I don't care how terrified and scared I am. It's only a dream. I'll live through it. I'll wake up in the morning. The dream is not going to traumatize me. I'm already traumatized by whatever, and that's why I'm having the dream. So a few times I've thrown punches and landed them, did some really swift kicks and landed them. And so they pretty much learned, don't mess with Nina. I mean, I'm motionless in my sleep usually. No matter how much I'm fighting or terrified, all the excitement happens in the dream. But if you try to awake me, I want it to look the same as the other one. If you try to wake me, it's a whole different scenario. So just leave me be. Now, I have less of those night terrors now. Sometimes it's my medications that affect them. And I'm trying to think, my Lipitor. I take Lipitor. I'm supposed to take 2 at night for my high cholesterol. And what I did was I realized that was what was adding to my nightmares, to where I was having them every night. So I asked the doctor, can I please take them in the morning? He said, I don't care when you take them, just as long as you take them. So therefore, I take them in the morning. I take them with my 8 a.m. meds. I take a lot of meds. I'm going to go a little bit deeper in the crease here. But yeah, so I've had some knock me down, drag me out, doozy nightmares. And it's always the same 3 people. So last night, we pretty much had nothing but thunderstorms. Big time. So I don't know if it's going to rain today. It said it was going to, then it said it wasn't. So who knows? But my problem is I want to shut my central air off. I mean, last month my bill was $300 and some. That's not good. No, it was almost 300. That's not good. Not for me. And I sit in the dark. This is the most I use of my electricity, is when I do a video. Or, when I turn my makeup on. But I don't have this much on when I'm just doing my makeup, not doing a video. So, but if I turn my air off, like say I was to turn it off tonight, and I open my windows. I mean, it's cooler at night than what I have my air set on. A lot, sometimes by 20 degrees. 15 degrees. So I want to shut my air off. But during the day, it's back up in the high 70s, high 80s, low 90s. So I'd be on, off, on, off, on, off. And I know that it works harder to recool the entire place. So that takes up more energy, more electricity. So where would that leave me? Still with that big bill, possibly even bigger. So I don't want to do that. And plus, when it rains at night, like on this side of my apartment, I have 2 huge windows. No, 3. 2 or 3. I think it's 2. And, well, they're all crammed together. And when it rains, it always hits that side of the house head on. And you can see it on the windows big time. And then on the other windows in the house, you cannot. So, I would want those windows open because I need cool air at night. And if I left them open, I would get flooded in my bedroom. So I still gotta wait before I can turn my air off, which sucks. Okay, let's see. Something pretty. How about some... I got like a caramel. I got like a really pretty green, emerald green. Some beautiful blues. Let me see. I think this teal would look nice. Or should we call it jade? We'll call it jade. Because I have on some jade jewelry today. How's that look? I'm not giving you the finger. I would not do that. My grandson, the one that's on here a lot, Reynaldo, he was sticking his middle finger up. And so, I'm like, hey, what are you doing? He said, my sissy tells me to do that. Like, does she now? He said, yeah. He said, she tells me to do that all the time. And I said, well, do you know it's bad? He's like, no, I didn't know it was bad. And I'm like, well, I'm telling you, it's bad. It's just like saying the F word. He says, well, what's the F word? I'm like, we're not going to go there. You can talk to your mom. I said, but your middle finger, although it shouldn't be bad because it's just your finger, it's bad because people made it bad. So don't do it. And he said, well, what if my sissy tells me to do it? I said, then you tell your sissy. Your Nina told you not to do it. So he immediately calls his sister. Nina told me that's bad that you're telling me to do that. And she's like, why are you such a tattletale? And I'm like, well, hey, she's doing what most big sisters do with little brothers. But, not most, but some. There's some who would get in a lot of trouble. Like, I would have been beat from here to Timbuktu if I would have had my little brother going around sticking up the middle finger. It wasn't happening. Believe that. No, no, no. I knew better. But, some parents are more strict, some parents are more laxed. So, to me, I say it's just a finger. I mean, God created that finger. So how is it such a bad thing? So what if other people say it's bad? I mean, of course, if you're purposely sticking up your middle finger, then yeah, you're doing it with intent. Therefore, you know you're doing something bad. Correct? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, when I was a kid, I forgot. I know we were at my Grwm's when she lived in Madison. We were in the dining room, and I can remember calling someone a bastard. I was just a kid, little kid. And everybody's like, oh, you know. And I'm like, what'd I say? What did I do? You know? You're a kid, you have no clue what the fuss is. And, you know, I honest to godly did not know that it was a bad word. But my parents swore. Then. Not now. But I had no clue that it was a bad word. And that happens. Kids pick up stuff from, you know, conversations and everything in everyday life, and then they repeat it. I remember a family member of mine went to school and came home. When they had a little program at school about drugs and just say no to drugs, and they were telling the kids, if your parents do drugs and so on and so on, you should tell us or call somebody. I mean, like, they're telling kids to call the police on their parents. So it was like, wow. Well, this particular child, he's related to me. He went to school and told him that his mother smokes weed. Like, and I'm like, well, what do they even care? Yeah, but this was a long time ago. So, but they cared. And they called her. They even sent children's services to her house. If they only knew then what it was going to be like now, you know, that they were going to legalize it and everything. So I'm using the real hair palette now. But yeah, I thought that was kind of funny back then. But it wasn't a funny situation. I mean, they took it very seriously. But we got worse things to worry about nowadays. You know what I mean? Weed is like candy compared to a lot of the stuff out there. I mean, I do not do drugs. But I will not lie. When I really can't sleep at night due to pain, nightmares, whatever, I will break a little piece of a weed gummy off that a friend gives me every now and then. And I mean, they go bad before I use them all. But I'll break a little piece off, and they taste disgusting. Believe me, there's no enjoyment to it whatsoever. And, I will chew that and it will help me fall asleep. So, I'm not really getting any pleasure out of it. It's just putting me to sleep. I go to sleep, I don't have the nightmares, and I don't feel the pain. But I'm not going to do it every night. I don't care if I have nightmares every night. I'm not going to do it every night. I mean, I'd say I don't even do it once a month. When I had a really bad toothache one time, I took a little bit during the day because I'm a big baby when it comes to toothaches. Oh my God. I mean, you don't even have to give me Novocaine. Just make it stop. If you got to pull a tooth to make it stop, just hurry up and pull it, I don't even care. And I have. Because my one tooth was so badly infected, I guess, abscessed. The dentist told me, that she had to put me on antibiotics. Because she was giving me Novocaine. I had been on antibiotics. And when I came in for her to pull it, she was giving me Novocaine. And I still could feel everything. And she said that she was going to send me home with more antibiotics. I said, no, you're not. No, you are not. I've already missed a whole week of work. And I'm not doing this no more. I want the pain to be gone. So she pulled it. And I felt every bit of it. I held on to that chair like I was going to break the arms off. But I was relieved. I was. But then it ended up impacted? No. I had dry socket. I don't know how. I didn't smoke. I didn't suck through a straw. I did absolutely nothing that could have caused it. So here I was, going back every single day for her to clean it out and repack it, until she could get it healed. So that tooth cost me a lot of pain, a lot of time, a lot of money. But, yeah, that's the one thing I am. Like with me being diabetic now, my doctor said, he's put me on pill form of medication because I am diabetic, type 2 diabetes. And so I'm like, okay. Then he said, and he said, I want you to keep taking your blood sugar every morning before a meal, before anything. I said, okay, I can do that. And he said, and then in 2 weeks we'll talk. We'll do a virtual visit. Then in 3 weeks you'll do blood work again. He said, and then in 4 weeks you'll be back here to see me. And then we will have enough information to determine if you need to be put on insulin as well. I'm like, wait, what? No. I cannot give myself a shot. I cannot stick myself with a needle. That's why I'm like, well, I hope, for me to test every morning, I'm going to have to use a pen that actually does the injection of that little needle to prick me to test the blood, because I cannot forcibly do it myself. I just can't, It's like defying the laws of nature, my nature. And I mean, the nurse gave me a shot the other day, and like the pain, it's not the problem. I guess it's like hurting myself is what the problem is. I can't do it. So what is everybody doing today? Maybe you can let me know what your day's going to be like today, what your weather's like. I love reading stuff like that from people where you are. What's the weather like today? I mean, what country are you in? If you're in a different country than me, you know, what's going on in the world today? I mean, we got things going on in Canada, Hawaii, California, and Lord only knows the list is longer, you know, of stuff going on here and there and everywhere. No matter what country you're in, we all have some problems. You know what I mean? Some more than others. This is ColourPop. Beautiful ColourPop. I love ColourPop. They're matte lipsticks. You know, they're liquid lipsticks. Beautiful. Always beautiful. They dry down quick. They're like part of your lips. So, and my superhero mascara. It does do the job like a superhero. Did anybody watch my video last night? Well, I think I posted it around 4. Of my little makeup. Well, little makeup bag is an understatement. My makeup pouch that I carry in my purse. Hey, it is what it is. All I can say is I'm not getting caught without it. I mean, not that often do I leave the house with no makeup on. I do have no makeup days. But those days, I'm in my jammies and I'm not going absolutely nowhere. I, get washed up, clean jammies on, brush my hair, brush my teeth, the whole 9 yards. But I put jammies on instead of clothes, and I don't do my makeup. Because I'm going to sit here and binge watch TV all day. I do have days like that. Especially like when a lot of my grandkids are here. That way I'm spending more time with them. And I'm not in here doing my makeup because I can take a while. Yes, I can. Okay, how does that look? Let me look in my ride or die makeup mirror. This little sweetheart always. She's like the mirror's truth. Yes, my mirror is a girl because she's reliable. Girls are really reliable, right? I know some guys that are too. Not many. For me, I love long hair on a guy. I love, oh my gosh, a nice hometown boy or farm boy or cowboy, redneck, that type of guy. Long hair. I don't like beards so much. A little bit's fine. A little bit of facial hair, but when they really grow bushy, I don't like a bushy beard or mustache. I hate dirty fingernails on men. I hate long fingernails on men. Hey, I even think it's sexy when a guy throws on a little bit of eyeliner and mascara for the night out. You know what I mean? But that's just me. I am who I am. You know what I mean? But, yeah. I'd rather go horseback riding or hang out feeding the cows and the chickens and everything else than a night out. You know what I mean? I really would. My grandmother had a farm. And I so much loved going there, and I loved her cows and I loved her chickens, like wholeheartedly. I mean, she had lots of other farm animals, but those are the ones that we interacted with the most: the horses, the chickens, the cows. I can remember when I was little, when my mom was still with my dad. They divorced when I was little, but I can remember just looking way up at the horses. You know what I mean? Because I was a little kid, and they just looked like giants to me. But I have always loved animals, and I come from a family that has always loved animals and had animals around. So that's just how it was. So of course I still love animals like that. And my daughter Elisa, she really loves animals. My grandson CJ, oh my goodness. Even little Reynaldo, he loves animals. Most of us love animals on my side. And I love that, because then I get to go to their house and get lovey-dovey with their animals, dogs, cats, bearded dragons. Oh my God, I love bearded dragons. I'd love to have one, but I'm worried about the expense. You know what I mean? Of the upkeep. They are responsibility. And so I have my cats. And I'm not sure I'll have Nemo too much longer if she doesn't mend her ways, like quick, fast. I am working on trying to find like a rescue place that would take her and not put her to sleep, not adopt her out. I don't think she'll do well with another family. I wouldn't trust her with anybody's kids. I wouldn't take that chance. And I would hope that, she wouldn't be like that somewhere else maybe. But I think she will. But anyways, well, I think my makeup turned out pretty today. I love the turquoise eyeshadow. It really adds a little pop of color to my favorite shirt. I got the beautiful earrings on. Even my ring. Yeah, even my ring. So, I guess maybe I should put on a bracelet or two or something. I'll have to look in my big jewelry box. But I hope you all have a wonderful day. I don't know what your weather's like, but enjoy it. I'm not being sucked up in a tornado or hit by a hurricane. So I feel very blessed. You know what I mean? Where I live, we really don't have those things. I mean, we do have tornadoes, but I have never been, I'm 55 years old, and I have never been in a tornado or in an area that was hit with a tornado. Never. So we really don't get tornadoes. So we can get some pretty bad thunderstorms, though. I mean, we can get winds that will knock your stuff down. I mean, my neighbor across the field, you can see where their shed once stood. I mean, it just literally lifted their shed up and threw it on the other side of the field. So knocked my other neighbor's privacy fence completely down, all of it. You know, and that was just recently. So Reynaldo was here, and Anna and Aaliyah was here. The power went out. We didn't get power back for like 2 days. So yeah, it was bad. But anyways, so everybody have a great day. The weekend's almost here. Yay! I mean, that doesn't change much for me. Well, it does a little bit, because that means, you know, grandkids may or may not be coming. I believe Reynaldo is. So you'll probably see Reynaldo on a video this weekend. Hopefully not like the other time. But that was cute, even though I had to cut most of it off. But anyways, bye-bye. Take care.